Thanks.
Joining me right now with more on all of it, we have Fox News contributor and former governor of Arkansas, Mr. Mike Huckabee. Governor, good to see you.
Thank you very much, Trish. Great being with you.
So, this is actually something you've talked about for a long time. You've said we haven't had a level playing field, and you've talked a lot about trying to put measures in place that would protect American jobs. So what do you think of these tariffs that are about to be signed in just a short moment from now?
Well, we'll see exactly what they are, but I applaud the president for, number one, keeping a campaign promise. That's something we don't get used to politicians doing, and it's shocking Washington because they assumed it was just rhetoric, and now they're realizing that when he said he's going to cut taxes, he really was. When he said he's going to build a wall, he really will. When he says he's going to bring an end to these unfair trade practices, he will. Now, exactly what he's going to do, we don't know. But let me tell you, he has the attention of the world right now. And he is in a very strong position to negotiate a lot of things just because they now know they're dealing with somebody who doesn't mind cracking the whip and pulling the plug and, making people come to the table. That's a positive thing, Trish, regardless of where this ends up.
Governor, what I like about this is I've said over and over again, clearly we know that our position in the world has deteriorated. We have, historically been the hegemonic power, and we've let that go over the last decade, specifically the last 8 years with President Obama. But there's an opportunity now to resurface in this role in a way that's healthy, in a way that, doesn't spend resources uselessly or needlessly, but actually is an articulated, thought-out strategy. And to me, economics plays a huge role in that. I mean, we have so much economic power. We're the biggest economy in the world. Shouldn't we be using it?
Well, not only should we be using it, but we should be using it to the advantage of the people who make it the strongest economy in the world, the American worker. And it hasn't been. They've had stagnant wages for 40 years. I understand that there's a lot of globalists who are going to make their money, whether the steel is made here, made in China, made in Mexico, made in Canada, made in Vietnam. They don't care. They're going to make money. But not every American's going to make money for that. And I appreciate a president who says, I want American workers to be able to make the money. Now, Trish, I've heard the pushback all day long from many of the Wall Street types, and we hear it from, one of the Koch brothers. Yeah. But the fact is, we have allowed what was supposed to be free trade to become anything but free or fair. I believe in free trade. I think it's great, but it isn't free if it isn't fair, and it isn't fair when everyone's not playing by the exact same set of rules. I loved what Elon Musk said. It's like trying to compete in the Olympics with, lead shoes on. It's kind of interesting that you got Elon Musk saluting the president and one of the Koch brothers who's criticizing him. Donald Trump has disrupted the political landscape as much as we could ever have imagined.
Hasn't he? I mean, it is amazing when you think of the people that are cheering this on and those that are opposed to it. But I think the reality exists, and you pointed out, incomes adjusted for inflation, they have gone nowhere for decades. But you know what? If you compare that income chart to our trade deficit, you see the trade deficit going way up and incomes flattening. And I think that speaks volumes, Governor, for the challenges we face as a result of globalism. I don't know what all the answers are, but I know that what has happened, Governor, it has not worked for so many Americans. And all those folks that say, oh, well, we just need better education. Sure, we need better education. But how's that going to help the family that needs to take care of their children now?
But what you've just said is the single most important thing, and not enough people have been saying it, Trish, and I appreciate it. That is that if you continue the exact policies that we've been doing now for several decades, and they haven't worked to the benefit of the American worker, why do we think they're suddenly going to work? And I wish the folks who are writing the editorial pages at places like the Wall Street Journal, with due respect, would start recognizing that this has been a great economy for some people. I got that. I understand it. But, they look down on people like me who have said, and they've said, well, Huckabee's not for free trade. That's not true. I am. But I want to see not just the people at the top of corporations and CEOs get wealthy. I'd like to see that prosperity filter down to people at the bottom who lift the heavy things and stand all day on a concrete floor. And they've been taking it in the teeth. I'm glad we've got a president who recognizes that there ought to be some level of prosperity that shifts to everybody in America, not just a handful of people.
Governor Huckabee, well said. Looks like that day is coming. We'll be watching.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Governor Huckabee, everyone.